What's up guys, welcome back to the Gaming Bros presents Let's Play Broken Sword 2, A Smoking Mirror. I'm going to continue off when we last left off. This is the long part, the pain in the ass part. Quadamonte City. If it allows me to bloody load it. Now unfortunately I've been struggling to do this because it takes a while to do this. The annoying thing that's happened now is that I can't do Broken Sword 1, which means having to start it all over again. Now I'll try and remember how to do this. Yes, I'm not using webcam overlay on these videos that I'm recording because it doesn't work that well. I can't remember what to do in this game. It takes a while.
George Stobart, well of all the...
Mrs. Henderson. Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
When you've been married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA. But wasn't
I like
sure.
the way they actually do some backstories for you folks who've never played. If you've never played the first one and you played this as your first Broken Sword game, it gives you a hint that you actually meet him in Syria, which is in the first game. Which I was hoping to try and show before this, so that you know who Dwayne and Pearl Henderson are. Yeah. But, you actually con her out on buying something from him, from George. But, without spoiling it, I'll have to try and get the game to work properly and not lose the saves again. For some reason I just lost the saves and it wouldn't let me do it. But if I ever can get back through it again and actually get to that point, because right now I'm at Island, so obviously, you know, it's like, why the hell has it stopped me from playing it and losing all the saves? But anyway, we'll get back to that at some point, so let's get talking.
Is Dwayne here with you, Mrs. Henderson?
Why sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Okay.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoil-sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right. And you don't want to go on your own?
Well, there's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around to take my picture.
That is pretty true, actually.
Is Dwayne still working for the CIA?
If he is, he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. He used to think he worked for them, but the psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
Okay. No idea.
What brings you to Quadamonte, Pearl?
What takes me just about anywheres. The market.
You drove 2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the Great Design, George.
What do you make of this stone, Pearl?
Oh, that's pretty. What's that thing supposed to be, a rabbit?
I believe it's a coyote.
Well, it sure is cute.
I was surprised she didn't ask me where she could buy one.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Catch you later, Pearl.
Oh yeah, you gotta go in there first.
Hey, Nico!
I can't remember what to do on this half the time. It's been a very long time since I played this. I know you gotta get rid of Pearl. You gotta get rid of this guy and the main guy.
I have done just as I have been instructed,
really
Professor.
Annoying.
With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavations. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
Professor Ubier. Right.
Keep you waiting, senor. Welcome to Quadamonte.
Thanks. My name's George Stobart from California.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
But what is this? An angel
Oh,
come down to earth.
Oh, it's a woman.
Nicole Collard.
Yay.
Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
General Gracianto. Not a clue.
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
I can see that, General.
I don't want to know.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
No. No, I never heard of him.
Sounds like he has.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quaramonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour. When he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Hmm.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Ubier, a visitor, senor, like yourselves.
Did you say Ubier?
Si, senor. Professor Ubier, a French archaeologist.
What's Ubier doing in Quaramonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, senor.
What do you think he's
The
doing in
professor is
Quaramonte
planning an
City?
expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
Ah, okay.
Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
Are you
Okay.
sure you never heard of Condor?
Oh, yes.
The company is registered here in Quaramonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
Condor is run by Karzak, isn't it?
Wrong again, senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor. Whoever he is.
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quaramonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records were destroyed by a flash flood.
Fair enough, he's not going to tell you anyway.
What do you think of these panties, General?
Oh boy, fabuloso!
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
No.
I never heard of the guy. Do I get the panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing.
Exactly, that's all he knows.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
Yeah, it does.
I'll be back.
You got to play with the chart, and then you got to talk to Nico about trying to get him distracted.
Senor,
Piss off. But you also
Leave
got to
the
do
chart.
something else first. But I can't remember what it is.
Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes. It looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the General didn't want us to see it. You came on a little strong with the General.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Maybe. But that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. That man we saw talking to the General was Ubier. Didn't you recognize him?
I never met him, remember? The guy I called in Paris claimed to be Ubier, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
No, he's
Now,
not.
it's too much of a coincidence that he's here in Quaramonte. Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? They must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something?
Yeah.
Did you know Ubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Ubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Fair enough.
Tell me about this Karzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes. They're like a wild animal.
Who's
Like
Pablo?
a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Okay, let's talk to UBA and then Dwayne and then go to the office to talk to people in there to try and get some explosives.
Professor Ubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
I thought that face was familiar. Remember me, George?
Yes,
Wayne
Dwayne.
Henderson.
Hi, Dwayne. Just a moment. I have a few questions to ask the professor here. Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
You shot her, didn't you?
No! I loved Carol. She meant the world to me.
Oops.
What are you doing in Caramonte, Professor?
Seeking Mayan artifacts. Central American history has been my life's work.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Do you see this label?
Yes. It refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here to Caramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
The company no longer exists. They went bankrupt recently.
What a coincidence.
I have proof that you are directly involved with Condor.
I used them as shippers to transport artifacts to a gallery in Paris. Beyond that, I have no connection with the company, which, as I said, no longer exists.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Karzak, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale.
Should never have shown him that.
Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh yes.
Tezcatlipoca.
Tezcatlipoca,
Or whatever.
the Lord of Darkness.
A Central American god, right?
A supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means, literally, smoking mirror. There.
Ooh.
You see the mirror shield in his
Full
left
credit.
hand? The Mayans believed he could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men. He was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims. And victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals, anything that bled. The steps of his temple ran red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
Do you know anything about this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History's my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
For me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the Fifth Age.
Perhaps we should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds destruction on a global scale. The fifth is the final age, ending in the total destruction of the Earth.
Take a look at this,
Which
Professor.
never happened.
What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals?
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
Including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
What plot?
I have no idea.
Fair enough.
Are you still working for... you know who?
Who's that, George? You know I'm retired.
Oh, nothing. Forget it. I confused you with somebody else.
Oh, I do
Yeah,
that
right.
all the time.
Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece
Well,
for the real
could be,
power
Dwayne.
in Quaramonte.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
Oh dear.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
He's the man behind Condor.
Yeah.
And the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first time I met you, I was deeply impressed with your naive simplicity. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son.
Okay.
I spoke to Pearl earlier.
Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
Yeah, she will.
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way she handled the wheel, you'd think she'd been trucking half her life.
Yeah.
What's in the truck, Dwayne?
Oh, just camping equipment. Sleeping bags and tents. Me and Pearl always hankered after a taste of the great outdoors.
Aren't you worried about camping out in a tropical jungle?
We had a trial run in West Virginia. This'll be a breeze in comparison.
Yeah, very true.
Do you know anything about a shipping company called Condor Transglobal?
I never heard of it, son.
Fair enough. Also got to talk to some band members and then go inside. I don't know, it's all confusing. Hey, what? Kids these days saying the F word is ridiculous.
Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
Is it?
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Fair enough.
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte we have a saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It means don't say anything.
Have you seen anything like...
I, the hungry chief.
Why are you carrying that thing around with you, senor? Don't you know who it is?
Sure, it's Tezcatlipoca. But it's only a little carving.
It brings death, senor. Death and destruction.
Superstitious nonsense. Well, it might be true.
Take a look at the design on this label.
I have seen that before.
Where?
There was a ship flying a flag just like that.
When did you see this ship?
3 months ago. It was here, at the docks.
Ah, someone's seen it.
What was the ship with the Condor flag carrying?
I don't know, senor. We weren't allowed near the docks.
That's right. Usually we meet the ships when they tie up.
We play to the tourists.
Well, When the
May
Condor
see why
ship
this
came
part's
in,
so long.
we were told to go away.
Bingo.
Hola, señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
You see, I've played this game before.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The
she's
corporation
a
I
lesbian.
represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Have you heard of a man named Karzak?
No? Who is he?
He's the reason we came to Quaramonte. We think he's running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody
No,
wanted my
really?
mine closed down for good.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes, I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I've no idea. Keep out of there. That's where the explosives are stored.
Yeah, you see why this is such a long part of the game, which I want to avoid for a long time. It just takes forever to go round. To sort things out. Gotta do such and such to get such and such to activate, and then you gotta do another such and such to get the stupid thing to activate as well. Then you gotta get Nico to go with the general, then you gotta get Pearl to go with thingamajiggy.
Have you met the guy who calls himself the General?
No, I haven't.
It's all
Is
a
he
long
real
process.
general?
I guess so. He wears a lot of medals on his chest. The wrong side of his chest. At least for any army I'd ever seen.
That's true.
I hear you drove all the way to Quaramonte. In a truck.
That's right. You would not believe the state of some of those roads. Makes me downright sad to think there's still some places you can't reach in an automobile. In this day and age, you'd think there'd be decent highways just about anywhere folk choose to go.
Most of the roads everywhere are
Catch you later,
screwed.
Pearl.
Especially in America.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Quaramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been imprisoned just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
Really?
What's the real reason the musician was imprisoned?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. Marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
Ah, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you seemed kind of evasive when I asked you about what you had in that truck before.
Damn right I was being evasive. I couldn't talk in front of the foreign national, see? George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam.
Who's Uncle
This
Sam?
truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
Okay, fair enough.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George.
Yeah, you gotta get the bomb.
All I need is a detonator.
Well, detonate.
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Have you really never heard of Condor?
Of course I have, son. Matter of fact, it was old Dwayne's investigations scared him off.
Ah, okay.
Did you find any evidence of Condor's drug smuggling operations?
Drugs? Hell no! Condor was a cover for the illegal export of Mayan artifacts.
So who was behind Condor Transglobal?
It was registered in the name of Edan.
Did you get the guy?
I don't think he ever existed. Edan backwards spells Nady, Spanish for nobody.
Ah, fair enough. Right, okay, so now we've got to figure out how to get explosive stuff and get the map thingy. Where's Nico? I don't know if that would work, but...
Hey, Nico!
Gotta talk to General his arse. And hopefully get something out of it.
Senor.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yes, George, you didn't forget. You're just trying to get a look at it.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Really? That's a lot of people, you arrogant...
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening
Okay,
could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
That could be true, actually. I don't know. I'm not from America.
I'll be back.
Hey, Nico, I need to talk to you. Because this is taking nearly 30 bloody odd minutes to do. See what I mean? You can't bloody talk to her at all. No, not quite. The only thing is, you've got to talk to her to get the bloody idiot out so you can look at the bloody map. But clearly not happening. Yeah, Nico's not with me, so I can start going around.
Do you have any kind of detonating device in stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare?
I can't simply give you a device like that, no without a damn good reason.
The General has a chart in his office, which he was discussing with Ubier.
Perhaps that chart will tell us where they're heading.
Maybe. but I can't get anywhere near it while the General and his sidekick are there.
Super strange planet. I hate this long ass part of the game. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Nico, get the bloody General out of his office. I don't know.
Could you distract the General
Yeah,
while I
about
took a look
time.
at the chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah, you'd make a great snake
Yeah.
charmer. Come on, 5 minutes is all I need.
Well, maybe. But it's your harebrained scheme. You do the
I
talking.
need a drink. Kinda. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you,
Yeah.
my dear. Anything.
No.
I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
Yeah.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your
Yeah.
beloved General.
Si, Signor
Yeah.
General.
Look after things here. I'm going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, George Stobart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
Yes, Georgie. Now we gotta get rid of Ronaldo.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, Signor. How can I help you?
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, Signor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you take my friend to the ruins now the General's gone?
I'd be honored, Signor.
Thanks. I'll go get her.
Finally, progress after 33 minutes. You see what I mean? This is the longest part of the game. It takes 33 minutes even to get things to bloody work. I don't know any other quicker way of doing it.
I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
George always has to save the world. He's American.
Listen, sweetie. I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth. For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
As Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station.
Good idea.
It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Quaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Teoculcan.
Teoculcan.
The safe was undoubtedly locked.
No, really?
I had no need for junk mail, especially someone else's.
And... okay, let's get the detonators.
I got a good look at that chart in the police station. It's a map of Quarmonte.
Does it tell us where Ubier is heading?
Yeah, a place called Teoculcan.
That's the site of the mine! I wonder why they're being so secretive about Ubier's plans. One thing's for sure. If the general's involved, they're up to no good. I'd like to talk to that musician Miguel. Take the detonator and get him out of that jail.
No problemo. I like the way George just has some detonator down his pants. Like that's gonna work. Here, Dwayne, some detonator.
Here is the detonator, Dwayne.
Keep your voice down, George.
Keep your voice down, George. You want everyone to know.
Yeah, I do.
You'd best go and warn Miguel that the U.S. cavalry's on the way.
Okay.
Dwayne has some detonators on him. Dwayne Dibley. On your feet? No. Hey, band players. We're busting Miguel out. Dwayne's got some detonators. Some Americans got detonators. They're gonna blow up the prison cell.
Hey, Miguel.
What is it? What is happening?
We're getting out of here.
Who's we? They've sent the Delta Force?
Yes.
Nope, the Impossible Missions Force.
Don't make me sick. Much better.
Who then?
A retired greetings card salesman from Ohio.
I'm doomed.
Yeah, quite literally, especially with Dwayne Henderson.
You're not the only one.
I should have known you'd be trouble the moment I saw you.
Look, I can explain everything.
Get in that cell, now.
And what if I refuse?
He'll shoot you.
Okay, here I am, going quietly into the cell.
Very wise, not Americano scum.
One of the reasons I hate guns so much is the way they make people so damned impolite.
What a coincidence, that's the only Salvador
I
open,
hope
the
you're
other
enjoying
two
your
are
vacation,
locked.
Senor Stobart.
Go polish your weapon, Ronaldo.
This was part of your plan, right?
Well, in a manner of speaking, no. I was all out of ideas. It was up to Nico now.
Ah, the Nico bit. Right, well, we're going to end it here, because this has gone on well too long.
I thought I would slip
But we can enjoy the next parts, which are even longer and more fun.
Cologne rolled over me like tear gas.
So, what do you want to know about me? Ask and I will answer. I will deny you nothing. I am a very giving person.
Yeah,
How nice
good
for your
you.
friends.
Your eyes are glittering like stars.
His damn cologne was making my eyes water. I was running out of sofa.
Yep.
As spirited as you are beautiful, I admire that.
As long as he admired it from afar.
Right, now it's going to save. Okay, thank you guys for joining me for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please feel free to drop a like and share this to your friends. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch all you, the Game Bro fans, in the next one. Goodbye.